I'm going live just right now to, I know I don't, I look different, right? I have different looks that I charter through, depending on how I feel. I've been through a lot, I'm going through a lot, I was attempting to podcast and get people to help me podcast, but it's like the people that I was reaching out to help me do that, they lied. They said they were going to help me. They didn't. And then it's like everyone else is getting set up to do all these podcasts everywhere. That's like, it's fine. It's great. It's podcast city. Allow me entrance into your city, please. And I'm still sitting here alone. I'm isolated out in the middle of the country. It's just how I am. Like, I'm not isolating on purpose. But it's like... in this world where they're like the mental illness is like you're isolating, but it's like I'm not. I'm just staying away from the people that were hurting me. But then it's also like I'm protecting my son from those that were hurting him too. I'm going back and I'm listening to the lives that I posted on Instagram. Then there were podcasts by myself that hasn't even been seen yet by anyone that's going to help me for real, honestly. On my YouTube channel, Life the Lie, Imogen Eris Tyranny, that I'm reaching out in every way, in every direction to get help, to get some sort of voice, to be an advocate, not for myself, but for my son. And it's just rough that the things that I listen to, that I've gone over, that I've been through, that I am conceptualizing a type of AI that will be a new type of AI that will not only fix the problems in society that have everyone on some sort of we're going to take these notes and write them down and then put them in this file over here that gets sent to those people over there. And then in 10 days, it gets sent to that supervisor over there that reviews it. But then when they review it, they send it back to those people over there that then review it and put it in the file or not in the file. And it's like, there's so many things that have been done wrong in my life that I'm not doing wrong. And I'm just still dealing with so many things. I had my birthday. I'm now 47, which makes me feel fucking ruined for life. Like, my life for the last 5-6 years has been ruined by this fucking freak, this pathetic creature that did something so horrible that he had to hide it all under the guise of turning me into him and him into me. And then he runs around pretending to be a woman involved in the system, working with an agency that was then fired from that agency or quit, I don't even know yet, but that had hands on paperwork, hands on my son. So it's like, I'm still dealing with that my son was taken from me illegally. They did not have a detention order for 6 days, and they took him. So it's like when they came here to take my son, they're like, we're taking your son, right? There's cops here, there's a caseworker here. They're all men, I'm a woman. We're taking your son. I don't have a record. I want to make sure that I make that clear. It's very important because at some point when I went back to court to try and just communicate to them some of the things that were wrong, they continued on some sort of narrative that I was mentally ill, that I was not doing everything that I needed to do, and I was doing more. That I was given my rights back. So on my birthday, the day before my birthday, I got my rights back for my son. Great. I still didn't have access to him, but I have my rights back for his mental health, his wellness health, and his schooling. And then I was given 2 extra hours of visits for the week. So I only get to see him for 10 hours a week. Right now it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, that week it was Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesday was the day we went to court. I didn't want to put the foster parent out of whatever she was doing with her time to insist that I get the extra 2 hours I was court ordered until Saturday. I was like, it's fine, I'll just take them for extra hours. However, my caseworker forgot to tell her. So when I go to drop my son back off, I'm met by the police department of my area. And I could have easily been arrested for kidnapping. I wasn't, because I have no record. And that's why I insist on being so composed through the things that I've been through, even though I don't want to. The way that I speak about it in private would terrify you. That I am holding myself so close that I have control over myself. You have my only child. My only child. And I'm 47. I'm not going to have any other kids. As far as I know. And he's nonverbal, he's autistic, and I'm dealing with things with him where me and him have been put through the system for the last 5 years in the area that I've been in. And his father did horrible things that he wanted to hide. So he wanted to create a documentary about how the area that I lived in was corrupt in the justice system. And it's not corrupt, it's just the whole system is corrupt. The whole system is fucked. And it's like, I've got all the ideas of ways, of pathways to fix it, and recorrect it, and direct it, that will fix it, that I'm seeking, like, what have I done wrong, what have I done wrong? When they came to take my son that day, the day they took him, that they surrounded me with blue gloves, that they had only men here, that I wanted to fight them and say, fuck you, motherfuckers, you're not gonna take my fucking son from me after you did this before. You know, and I can't even, like, express it with the tears and the feeling that I felt, like, how fucking dare you do this? Do you not? Like, I was just trusting the system would just do what it needed to do, but that I had to allow it. It's like having someone next to me with a gun. All day. Every fucking day. For the last 5 fucking years. Don't act up. Don't say anything. Act normal. Be normal. Say what you need to say to get what needs to get done, and just do it. Every day. That's how I've been. For the last 5 years. Of course, so I didn't get arrested, mainly because I did not have a record. I've never been arrested. And I explained to them that we went to court, that I was offered 2 extra hours, that it must not have been communicated through. But because I didn't have paperwork, they've never given me paperwork with a note that said, this is this, and this is that, and this are the times and dates, and this and that, ever. Not even before. I'm conceptualizing a new way with AI to create a new system for the government to run on, so this shit doesn't happen. So that county talks to that county, that agency talks to that agency, these people know what that people know, all the way around, so that this shit does not happen anymore. My son is the most victim at this. That he has regressed. He's not potty trained. He's very brave, and he's strong, and he is independent. And he is that autistic boy that doesn't speak, but he eats onions and peppers and vegetables and likes to hear loud things and be excited in ways where other people have been trained to be baby birds to break. And I don't know why they do that to them. That they're putting him in some place where he's being treated like he's less, like his voice doesn't matter. And it does. And at one point, I was talking to someone who was my friend at the time, who was a foster parent of his then, who we do not communicate now. And she's like, he may never talk, he may never. I'm like, don't restrict him from, don't do that to him. Don't put what you think you need to put on him, because that's what everyone else does. That's what the system does. It's what it's doing right now. That I worked with him before to get him out of years of post-traumatic stress, of torment, of torture. And it's mainly because my ex got the system twisted up and involved in a way with a bunch of investigations on my life, trying to turn me into some kind of like conspiracy theory nutball, hooker, drug smuggler, like I don't know, cult leader, fucking I have no idea. And I'm not trying to like make it be like this extra thing right now. But his intention was to create a film, a documentary about how the justice system was corrupt. And it's not corrupt. It's just the rules are mixed up. And I have ways to unmix them. But because this horrible, disgusting creature, who I never did anything to, other than give everything that I ever had to them. I was the one that worked. I was the one that provided. I was the one that gave everything to what we were. And I even attempted to help them with whatever it was that they needed help then that I don't need to go back to right now. Because honestly, like I just had my birthday. I just turned 47. The day before my birthday, I had to go to court. And I had to go to court and sit there and listen to the agency people again speak to me. Your unaddressed mental health issues render you incapable of whatever it is for your son. You're isolating him. And they don't understand what we've been through. They don't know all the other things the agencies know that they've been through, that they are investigating, that they don't communicate, that they don't know those things that are upon my plate, that they don't see every day. And I got my rights back for his medical, for his educational, and I was very excited, but got an extra 2 hours. Unfortunately, getting those extra 2 hours back when we had a visit the next time, somehow it got miscommunicated through, and when I went to go drop him back off, I was met with the police department in my face from the city that I'm in Visalia. I'm not in Visalia, I live in Orange Cove. I don't care if you know where I live. It's important to know that I am just some nondescript middle of nowhere town. That's America, where we're supposed to be free, where we're supposed to have rights, that all of my rights have been denied. I am being treated like a prisoner of war, and so is my son. We've both been kidnapped. We've been held back from every right that we should have. That I am doing things that I am not anywhere near, like, the things that they have on me. They said that I held him, that I choked him in front of his online class. And that's why they took him. They retracted that from court. I didn't do that. That was not something that happened. That was just something somebody made up, right? But then they keep that on there. They kept that on the record. So it's like, why wasn't I arrested? Why didn't you detain me? Why didn't you lock me up? And then I have this foster mom that's taking care of him, that's making up lies to the cops, where I have to face them all at once when I'm returning him to a visit that I am righteously supposed to have, with the time that I'm supposed to have, that I have to sit there and explain to the police why I even was, like, I don't even know, like, they're like, what happened today? I'm like, what do you mean what happened today? Like, I have 2 extra hours, like I just brought him back when I was supposed to bring him. But that's extra stuff I shouldn't have to deal with. That my son shouldn't have to see. That, like, they could have arrested me. They didn't because I don't have a record. So it just was what it was. And I just found out that it was miscommunicated. And then the next time that I saw him right before the holiday, his face was swollen and bruised, so much that it looked like he was, like, beaten in the face. They said he had pink eye. Because I had the rights, I took him to the doctor. Doctor said he had pink eye. When I returned him to the foster mom, she looked at me like she didn't even know what was going on. I can't get a hold of my caseworker. I can't get a hold of anybody to let me know what's going on. So today, after I called the drug test hotline to see if I had a drug test, I didn't. Regardless, it would have been clean, as it always is. But then I had my NA meeting, then I had a mental health meeting, then I had my visit with my son. And it's rough to have these visits with him because he's not potty trained. He's 8 years old. Because I don't know why they're not potty training him. He was with them before. He was with them for a while before. There are times that I have been held away from him, that we have not been able to do anything in our lives, that my life has been ruined by this. And, like, I don't know who to reach out to, that there's something wrong. I've reached out to everybody. I've reached out to the FBI. I reached out to the CIA. I reached out to the Department of Homeland Security. I reached out to the ombudsperson of the state of California for foster placement. I've reached out to the Department of Justice that then put it back down to the Department of Health and Human Services. And it's like, if I just can't get someone on the phone to just talk to me about what's happening, that my son is with someone who had him in pigtails at school. They had him as unknown sex at court. That this person that had him took him. Well, now that I have doctor's rights back, I got his medical records. When I looked at his medical records the other day, I did not want him to have certain things like a flu vaccine. I did not want him to have certain things happening to him that were not warranted. And there were things that they say at court I was delusional about making up, that when I get his medical records completely backs up that they gave him promethazine, they gave him a steroid shot, they gave him a bunch of things in an order that, like, can create some type of reaction where when I had a visit with him, I thought he was dying. That I wanted him to have some sort of intervention to go to the ER. They refused me. I spent all night in a town an hour away on the phone with the Welfare Emergency Services, begging them to help him. They said they wouldn't just drop everything to help him because it was a revolving thing with me, that I've just been some squeaky wheel for them. That then he went to the ER or the doctor the next day and had strep throat. He was sick for 1 whole month. He lost weight. I lost my visits for a whole month. Mainly because the place said that I violated their rules about conduct because of some issue, but it was like he was sick. He needed to go to the ER. He did, but it wasn't until the next day. But then he was sick for a whole month. But then at court, they said I was delusional, that he wasn't sick. And it's like, there's something wrong. There's something so wrong. That I'm still sitting here alone. That I'm still having to go through all these fucking things alone. That my son is still with these other people. That I don't know who they are. I don't know what their reasoning for what they're doing is. But that when I go into the paperwork for his medical records, there was a there were visits that they took him to for weird things during times when I had rights that I was never notified, ever. And then there were times that they took him to things when I didn't have rights that I was still not notified, like a dentist that was a general dentist when he's supposed to have an autistic dentist. Why was he even going to this other dentist? And I still haven't been informed. I had to find out about it from his records. That they said during one of the visits that he had with me that he had some injury to his genital area, that they're trying to paint out on me that there was some sort of incident that happened. And I'm like, this is not right. There is something fucking wrong. And if someone doesn't come in and create some sort of like lawyer for me or ability for me to move forward from here with any kind of money or understanding or ear to hear that I need fucking help for my son, like, I don't know what else to say. It's fucked up because I don't want to be that like, oh, look at me, I need help person. Because that's not who I am. But I've been attacked by a freak of nature who's sitting up with a bunch of money, who thinks it's funny to make me look stupid and pathetic for all of you, because he knows that I feel that I've never felt myself, that I've never been able to be who I am, because I've always been restricted, because I've always held it back, because I have respect for people that I don't want to put an uncomfortable mode into life before them. But it's like, at some point I have to draw the line. And just going through the motions of every day where I wake up, I call the drug test hotline to see if I have to pee in front of someone, and then do my NA meeting, and then have counseling for this and that, and go through all these demeaning things where I'm not able to even feel like I have a life anymore. That I'm just fucking tortured here. It's fine, I really don't give a fuck. It's my son that's suffering the most. Our bond is deteriorating. I'm not able to communicate with him. I am trying to develop a psychological, like, telepathic gateway to people that are nonverbal, to people like my son who are autistic, to the whole system to redirect itself. I'm attempting to charter a new way for all the government agencies to have a new system to redirect itself so they can communicate with each other the right way so this shit doesn't happen. I am attempting to create a new AI that has the ability to translate for people and create a new type of AI that is like a new type of life that resonates with us the way that we are in life. I am attempting to create a new type of schooling system for my son, for he can like grow up and flourish in, instead of whatever bullshit they have him in, where he puts the sticker for bathroom here and he eats the thing and puts it here, and then he pushes some $600 device a bunch of times that the government has to like find funding for, when he could easily have like a $50 tablet with an app that was created, that was put in, that would be way like more functional and feasible, that would just work, that wouldn't just drain money out. And it's like, what I've discovered is that when you do what you're doing to me, you're like, all right, the state of California needs money. You are a bad mom. Now you have your child taken from you. Your child is this amount of money. You are this amount of money. Look, now the state of California has 2 different incomes. One, the mom now has to go to parenting classes, drug counseling, mental health, psychiatric, psychology, pharmaceuticals, all of those things that need to happen for me. The drug testing, there are people that have to pay for that. But for me, it's free because of whatever's happening to me. But then my son now is with the foster mom that's paid. Now he has ABA services because he's special needs. And then it's like just a timeline of money that's like a type of system that we are a slave, that I am a slave, that he is a slave, that you've created incomes for the state of California to run yourself on, to propagate whatever it is that you need to do to turn money into funding for this, funding for that. We're going to create these things for you. Great. Now everybody has all the things that they need. But that's not right to do, because at some point it's incorrect. The people that handle the funding, the people that write down the paperwork, the people that redirect it, there are so many loopholes of ways that this shit has been fucked up that has taken my life from a place where my ex was pretending to be a woman, pretending to be me, working for an agency that had hands on my son, that was in the CWS office, had hands on my paperwork. And then they're fired. I don't know where they are, who they are now. And I'm trying to tell them that's who they are, trying to let law enforcement know. But no one will come through. No one will listen to me. It's just like, well, we don't know what to do. That's not our, like, pay grade. Oops. That they didn't have the detention order at court, so that you have to deal with that at court. And it's like, everything they're doing right now is illegal. Everything that's happening right now is illegal. Every right that I ever should have in this life, that my son should have in this life, has been taken from us in every way. That everything that's happening to us is illegal. And everyone that is in the legal departments is just sitting around looking at it like, well, we don't know what to do. You need to create a new system. You need to create some fallback. You need to have some action mode that happens right now where it addresses everything that's going on and the capacity that it has, just like a function. And it just doesn't. And that you're spending all this money for AIs and robots to do the weird things that they're doing when they could easily be turned back around into society in these type of jobs that has been stirred up here. Like, I'm not that verbal person that just has like that repertoire of like conversational, like, language that way. I'm just upset. Had a really fucking rough day. Today I had an NA meeting. I had a drug counseling. I had a mental health meeting, and I had a visit with my son. He had a fit in the middle of it, just because we both feel the frequencies from the technology, which is another thing that I've been attempting to pull through. That it's just like, I don't know who to talk to anymore. Because it's like, well, just keep doing what you're doing and then we'll see. But then it's like, he's already been away from me for a year. They've extended the services past a year because they have a count on the court that was not proven, that has no evidence, that was retracted. But the paperwork now says that it's back. So because of that, I'm held accountable for it. I didn't do it, and I reached out to people to get statements, and hopefully I can get them, because if I don't pull some shit together by November, they're going to adopt him away. Adopt him away. I've had clean drug tests. Actually, my drug counselor, the new one, because the other one is on medical leave, is closing out my drug counseling. So it's like the county where I'm at, they're closing everything out, because they just want me to like silently exit their program. That's wrong to do. To my son, to everything that we've been through, to me, to other people that are going through it, that's wrong. That's why I'm over this country. If America's gonna facade around like your land of the free, home of the brave, what brave? I see nothing before me but cowards. And what free? You're all enslaved. And you don't know. The system is wrong. The system is corrupt. And it's not the people's fault that are in charge of it now. They just don't know how to get through it because that's all they've ever known. That's all they've ever done. And then creating all these new radical laws all of a sudden is not something you need to do either. It's like, we need to go through everything. You need to make an AI that goes through everything, that like settles it out. Like, I just came on tonight out of desperate like plea, but it's the same shit as it always is. But no one hears me. That all I need is someone to come through with the truth and just tell me the fucking truth. What the fuck is going on? Why are all you people rallied up against me? Why are there celebrities undercover rolling around being people that I may or may not have known in my life? Are you still like involved with my ex and you think that I'm the one? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not on that side. I'm just the victim, and I've just been trying to keep my son safe, and I've been attempting to like charter whatever I can see as sanity through it, and most of it isn't. But I'm just over it. I'm not gonna sit here and talk to nobody. It's like I used to get so many people on here, and it's like the government has me on shadow ban, where unless you're like strategically following me, no one else hears me. Over and out.